Sorry about that. My phone started ringing. Oh my goodness. Now I'm going to have to edit and stitch 2 videos together. Rats. I was at Joann's buying stuff and I saw these on the bead aisle. They were already made. Oh my goodness. There were all these little girls in different women in different outfits. All different kinds. I bought this one. I'm going to have to go back and buy more. Diana Zaslow had 2 of them as well when she got there. She had bought 2 of them and had seen the same thing and thought the same thing. These would be cute scissor fobs. So I need to buy some more. She's so cute. I made little triangle Ort holders, little Ort bags, bins. Bags. It's a triangle. And you stuff the Orts down inside. And then when you're packing, you can just go like this and throw it in and the Orts don't fall out. So I love these. I saw the pattern before I left and made some to give to a couple of people there. I will put where I got the pattern from in the description box below. This is the lamp that I took with me to light. I did not even use a light in the stitching room. It was so bright. I know a lot of people were, but I didn't need one. But I did use it at night when we were in the breakfast area at the hotel. That was not very bright, but it's my Mighty Bright clip-on light. Takes AAA batteries, or it has a place where you can buy a cord and plug it in. Very handy. I've used this a lot when I'm not stitching at home. It just clips to the top of my Q-snap. What else is sitting here? Oh, okay. Then there's the things people gave me, because they're all so wonderful. Oh, and I don't remember who gave this to me. Darn, I should have written on it. It's got a project card on it where you can write down your project information and these floss away bags on a ring. I got some Garon toten bag cards for Robin, my friend in Virginia. I'm going to mail her one because she asked me to get her one. I got this needle threader that's a pink ladybug. So cute. Lynette, stitching on the home front, made this for me. It has a bee on it. I love it. It is the most beautiful thing. And lots of people were smart and did business cards to hand out while they were there. So with the name of their, just maybe their email address, in case you, and what city they live in case you live close by and would like to get together and stitch. If they had an Etsy store, it was on here. Or if they have a Flosstube or Instagram, it would be on here so you could connect with them. Lots of people did that. My favorite one was Becca's because it has her picture on it. And I think I'll do that next year but I would love that because then I could remember. I met so many people and I'll remember their face for a while anyway, and that I had a conversation with them, but I'm not going to be able to remember what their name is. If I met you at StitchCon and we had a conversation and you're commenting on my video or at Instagram, please remind me of that. It may be something we talked about so that I can put a name with a face. Because I think I met at least 250, 300 people that were there. And I'm not going to be able to remember which one you were. That's so frustrating to me. Stephanie of Lindy Stitches, when you went to get your sticker, your passport sticker from her, had a design she was handing out. Cute little turtle called Turtley Lovable. This was Corey, the silent stitcher. She walked around and handed out these cards. There was a huge freebie table. Huge. I showed you that in my video. I was very good, and I only picked up one thing from the freebie table. Is this Mill Hill charmed stocking ornament. 'Tis Noel stocking, I think is what it's called. I picked that up on the freebie table. Sharon, my wonderful friend in Tennessee, made me this dish rag. Crocheted me this dish rag. Thank you, Sharon. I'm going to think of you every time I use this. Sharon and I talked about that in my last video. We are one of those friends in spirit that you didn't know until you met them and then realized that you just had this connection with. Katie Clark, the nap time stitcher, had stickers to give us. Catty Cross Stitches, home of the Snippety, brought me this. It's fuzzy, so you can lay it down and put your orts on it and they won't go anywhere. And she has StitchCon 2019 on the back. Look at that. She is Marion. Catty Cross Stitches. C-A-T-T-Y Cross Stitches. And I think she sells these. Leslie, Under the Sea, when you went and got your sticker for your passport from her, had a corner gauge. She had you choose a chip, and then she had several little gift bags in different colors, and you chose the color of your chip. So my bag had a corner gauge and a free pattern from her called Feeling Stabby. It looks like a Norwal, and it says Feeling Stabby. Oh, and a fridge magnet with her business card on it. Oh, I lost your name. 24 hours of cross stitch. I can't think of your name. I know your name. I can't think of your name. See what happens. She had papers at her table you could pick up for the challenges their group is doing coming up. Or you could go to her, I believe it's a Facebook group, and see the same stuff. But I picked up some papers because I thought that would be fun. Not starting anything new, just my regular whips, but it would be fun to incorporate them. Oh, my friend Karen that I met the weekend before from New York, her and Jill, they had been on a cruise recently, and I think this money was from the Bahamas, Bermuda, can't remember. She made that into a needle minder for me. And I thought to myself, I have some money from Europe, a trip I took when I was 21. I'm going to totally make those into needle minders. They're in my scrapbook from that trip in just little envelopes, but I'm going to take some of them out and make needle minders. All right, I told you I traded needle minders, and I was going to put these out on a board so you could see them all. But I didn't do that yet. I forgot to do that before the video, so I'll just show them to you. I'll do that before my next video. I'll just show you all the ones that I collected. Lots. And this one that doesn't even fit in there. It's so full. Oh, this is Melinda, my Park City, our other Utah person. So I'll put those all out flat where you can see them better for the next video, because they're awesome. They're totally awesome. Okay, where's the list? Let's do finishes. As you remember from my last video, I had until the next day at 10 o'clock to finish my challenge piece, incentive piece from the OOE board I belong to. So here is Petite House by Sodastitch on Silkweaver rainbow fabric, 40 count, with the called for DMC. And I did finish it on time by 10 o'clock on the 15th. I told you that this fabric had a lot of a yellowy green color in it, and it was kind of a big piece. But for this particular piece, I didn't want that yellowy green, so I put it right in the middle where there wasn't very much yellowy green color. But that was a finish. And then part of that same challenge, because that piece wasn't quite 120 by 120, I did the shepherd's bush little bag kit. It comes just like this, and it's already made, and you stitch on it already made. This one was the Busy Bee one, and I did finish on time. And then oh, here it is. For the brag table at StitchCon, I brought some stuff in this. This is a stitching project carrier, needlework carrier. It's just, I believe it's PVC right in the middle. And then they finished it really nicely. It's got this fabric on the inside so that you could roll up a piece and take it with you and keep it safe. So I have them rolled up in here. This is what it looks like unrolled. Here's the core piece. It's just a drawstring on the ends with ribbon. It's quite large when it's unrolled. But I finished in the hotel room before StitchCon started. I finished the Christmas stocking. So I also was able to finish that by the end of June. My daughter-in-law Hannah's stocking. So now I'll be able to start my other daughter-in-law Lauren's stocking and hopefully have that one done by Christmas so that they are both done for Christmas this year. So I put that on the brag table. This is called Holiday Kitchen. It's the heirloom stocking series that were originally in the Cross Stitch and Country Crafts magazine by Better Homes and Gardens. They reprinted it in a booklet later. That series that has gone out of print twice. You might be able to find it on Etsy maybe. It has 9 of the stockings in it. There's a 10th stocking that's a garden shed that's part of the same series that's not in here. I don't know if it came out later. But you can also get these now on the Cooler Design Studio website, Kooler. And then there are several of them are also on 123 Stitch just separately. Both of those places you can buy them just separate patterns. 123 Stitch is starting to carry some too. They're listed as Cooler Design Studio as the designer. And then the other 2 I brought for the brag table. I was flying, so it couldn't be anything framed. I brought Shores. I'll let you look at that one more time. I'm sure you're sick of looking at it. I'm not. But I brought that for the brag table because it was easy to pack. I've showed you all these before. Rosewood Manor Past and Present. I brought that for the brag table. And then I also brought Medieval Town Mandalay. Need to look up how to say that. By Chatelaine for the brag table. Because it was easy to pack. There's lots of beads on it that are hard to see, but it is beautiful. There's no beads in the buildings. All the beads are in that whole center section and in the corners. Different village on every side. I've showed you this before. I think it was my first or second video I showed you a better view of that if you want to go back and look at it. Okay. So that was finishes and old finishes. That's what I was going to show you for old finishes. Oh, whips. We didn't do whips yet. I'm so sorry. And we're already at, oh, I don't know, because I have to make 2 videos now. Okay, my piece to work on the plane. I worked on it in the airport and on the plane on the way out, and I worked on it in the airport and on the plane on the way back. It's on 28 count white even weave. It's Abecedare Berthe Dupont, 1913. I'll put the link to where you can buy it in the description box. But it was because it was on 28 count and doesn't have a lot of colors in it, it was easy to work on. On the way out, I worked on the alphabet. I think last time I showed it to you, I only had part of the T done. So I was able to finish U, V, XYZ. I keep forgetting to mention that this alphabet is missing the I and the W. I think there's a couple of reasons for that. Historic samplers, obviously part of their function was for young girls to learn how to stitch. But part of the function as well was to keep a library, to keep a pattern of an alphabet. And a lot of samplers had several alphabets on it so that you could go back and use that pattern again later on something else. Use those letters, that alphabet, again somewhere else. So the I and the J were often very similar. So this could be an I if you just took the little J tail off of it. A W is just two V's put together. So just to save space and to save time, you don't need to stitch the I and you don't need to stitch the W, because you can just, as I said, use those other letters and modify them just a little bit. So that's why this is missing two letters, I think, anyway. I worked a little more on the border. Coming up, still not sure if it's going to meet, but I'm sure it will, Catherine. This was done before I also started this bird right here. So that's where that is now. Really enjoying this piece. Beautiful colors. Trying to keep this organized. I took Shepherd's Fold with me to work on, but I didn't. That was the only thing I took with me that I didn't get a chance to work on. I actually worked on Twisted Band Sampler for 2 of the days that I was there. I was, had these grand plans that I was going to work on it every day, but that didn't happen. A little bit every day. Here's what it's looking like so far. I did get some more of the light green, that rose strip worked on. So that's where this one is. I took a lot of the projects out of their original project bags and put them in either 2-gallon Ziploc bags or a flatter bag, so I was trying to fit so many of them into my suitcase. Less clothes, more projects, right? I did work on my Words to Live By monthly mystery stitch along and got that caught up for this last. It comes out on the 15th every month, so I am caught up again. And this month was You Can't Direct the Wind, but You Can Adjust the Sails. Pretty colors in that one, pinks and greens. You can still join that stitch along. It's Mystery Stitch Along, Words to Live by Tiny Modernist. They're either on Etsy or they have their own website or both. Can't remember. I worked a little bit on the Seize the Day section that came out on the 25th, but did not finish, so that's what this one is looking like. Can you tell they've been in my suitcase all squashed up? And I worked on this. We're finally under the water. I'm so excited. I worked on this oyster and these 2 little fishies and this big pink fish. Not quite done with that one yet. Or this month's section yet. I brought Utopie because I knew I was going to be there with Diana Zaslow and we wanted to stitch on it next to each other, at least for a little while. So that we could say we did. Here's what it's looking like. I was able to stitch on the roots down here a little bit. So cute. That one is looks like this. And as always, I'll have all the names and the designer and the fabric I'm stitching it on, and everything will be down in the description box. I worked on Victorian Charm a little bit while I was there in those couple of days in between when I was in my hotel room. And I want to say I worked on this at Keepsakes one of the days too. I can't remember. But I worked down here on the top of the front door roof. That's how that one's looking. This is a Dimensions kit called Victorian Charm. Looks like this. So I'm right here doing this. So I still have all of this to do and all of this sides yard to do. Worked on Our Savior's Praise. No, not Our Savior's Praise. Morning Has Broken. Worked on that a little bit. Ripped out a little more of this border that I'm taking out because I didn't like the color. And did a little more of the dark green outlining that's in Smyrna. Can't remember. Need a drink. I worked on Long Dog Arcade several different days. Some while I was stitching at Keepsakes, some at StitchCon, a little bit in my room. Thought it was upside down for a minute. This is using Silks for You silk, 2 different colors. I did some more of this viney border that goes clear across and this heart down here. It's hard to get a good picture of this. Maybe that's better. And then this is the new piece that I started at StitchCon. I bought a Garon toten bag. That makes me think of Hawaii. It's beautiful. Love the bag. This is the Velcro closure. This is the inside fabric. Butterflies. This is the pattern. It's hands-on design, wild salt air. I dream of the sea and the wild salt air is what it says. And this is the one that I wanted to try with the Sulky threads. This is the Garden Gates collection of Sulky Petites that I bought at that first weekend at Keepsakes. These 3 are variegated, and then this one, and this one are not. And then I'm using this light teal in this one. The Sulky thread pack for More Chocolate Bunnies. I bought that because I loved the colors in it and thought it looked very similar to this piece. And then I bought another little 5-pack that I don't remember what was called because I had to throw the box away to get it in my suitcase. So I ended up with these colors. This is the other needle minder that I bought at Keepsakes. Says seize the day. And then this is how far I got on the stitching part of that. I do love the Sulky thread. I would definitely use it again especially on the 28 and the 32 count. I do think I like it a little better on the 32 count. It looks fine on the 28 count. I just like it better on the 32 count. But on the 28 count, I just have to remember not to pull so hard like I usually do to get a little bit better coverage. All right, plans. To look at my table, see if I showed you everything. I am going to Bear Lake Wednesday. I'll be gone till Saturday. For July, if you may remember, my Mania, 11 of my Mania pieces had monthly assignments of when I wanted to work on them. So my July piece is Back to the Future by the Witchy Stitcher. My anniversary is in July. It'll be 33 years in July. And it says, "You are my density. You are my destiny." Has the DeLorean on the bottom from the movies. My husband and I were dating when this came out. I'm sure we watched it together, although I don't remember it, but I'm sure because I knew I've seen them all the movies. This is how much I got done during Mania. It's on black, 18 count Ada. If I'm going to do something on black or dark blue from now on, I'm going to use 18 count Ada because I think it looks lovely and it is so easy to see. And then I'll just continue my normal rotation that I talked about in the video I made before StitchCon. So I hope you all have a great stitchy day. Hello to all my new stitchy friends that I met at StitchCon. And hopefully I'll be able to see a lot of you again next year and meet some of you maybe in between. Maybe at I am going to the retreat, Deb's and Kef's Snug Harbor Crafts retreat in October. So maybe I'll meet more of you there. And have a great day and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.